Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making meatballs in a spicy tomato sauce. So for the meatballs, you will need an onion, a couple of cloves of garlic, some breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, some minced beef and an egg. And what you will also need is you will need some mixed herbs to add into your meatball. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to finely dice the onions. So you can see there, thin slices across. Then I'm going to cut back across it as little, as fine as you can. Then once you've done that, bring both halves together and run your knife back through them just so that you can get it as small as possible. Whilst I'm finishing off chopping that up, I just want to take this opportunity to say thanks very much for joining me on this journey. The comments have been outstanding. A few of you have said you're trying the recipes. A few of you have even said that they're bringing back memories of childhood, and that means the absolute world to me. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. It costs you nothing to do it. So as you can see here, we're just finishing off chopping up that onion, and we're just going to run the knife through it. Like I said before, we're just going to run it through, just making it just a little bit finer. You can take a little bit longer doing this and chop them up as fine as possible. Luckily, in my household, we like onions, so we're golden with that. And then the same, you're doing the exact same process with the 2 cloves of garlic. Once you've sliced that up, again, you're just going to run your knife back through it to get it as fine as possible. Once you've done that, what you want to do is you want to grab yourself a nice pan that you're going to deep enough to hold the meatballs and the sauce. So a good glug of oil in there, and you want to heat this up. So we want to get that hot, and then what we want to do, well, when it's hot, you want to pop in your onion and your garlic, and you want that to starting to soften, so that just makes it melt in the mouth when you add it to the meatball, and I'll show you how to do that. You've got that stirred, you've left that can now just do away. Now we're on to the actual meatballs. So a few processes in this, and then we are golden. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break up the mince beef, and we're going to try to bring it together so it's more of a patty. And this is the first sort of bit that you got to watch, and it does make a big difference. You want to sort of press it against a bowl, and that's why I'm using a bowl to do this. So we've got it there, and we're pressing it out against the wall of the bowl. And at this stage, we are now going to season the beef. So we've got a bit of salt, liberal coating of salt and pepper. Then you want to add in the mixed herbs, just your off-the-shelf mixed herbs. Most of us have got that lying around in our pantries or cupboards. Get your hands in, give it a good mix. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. So give it a good mix. It won't start holding together because we've not added in any of our breadcrumbs. But again, what you want to do is once you're quite happy that it's mixed as good as it's going to be, now you are going to be continuing to mix this. Press it back out into, again, a patty shape. There you go. and then get your breadcrumbs. So I've just got about a cup of golden breadcrumbs, 1 egg. Now I pop that in the breadcrumbs, and I'm going to give that a bit of a mix. I do it this way, it makes it a bit easier to then mix in. So I'm just forming like almost a paste. I'm not mixing it completely in, you can see there, and then just dump that in, and once again get your hands in. So once you're mixing that, you can see there it's all coming together. What we want to do is just keep giving it a mix. Then you want to press it again outside of the wall into a patty, because by now your garlic and your onions will have softened. That's why we do them first, and then we add them into the well that we've made with the beef mince. So add that in, and scrape the rest in there. It doesn't matter if you've left any onions in the pan, because we're going to be using this pan to brown the meatballs and make the sauce in, so it's all just flavour. Now at this stage, be careful, your onions and your garlic will be hot, so you just want to fold that over and make sure you're amalgamating the whole thing, mixing it all in until it forms a big ball, and then you're going to start making the meatballs. So once you're happy that everything's mixed in as good as you're going to get it, you want to start rolling these out. Now I aim for probably a golf ball size, but you can see there, once you've started mixing them, they hold together really well, and that's why I use beef. So I've done one there, just show you another one. Get that going. That one was a bit big, so just remove it. You want to keep them the same size if possible. The more uniform you can do it, the better. And like I said, these things, if you're going to make a batch, make a big batch, because these can freeze. You can freeze them. You can keep them in the fridge. They feed the family, and if you're going to make them, you might as well make a big batch. So we've got them there. We move back over to our pan. You can see it's still got the oil. It's heating up beautifully. It's nice and warm, the oil. And what we're going to do is we're just going to place our meatballs into the pan, because we're going to brown these as we go. Now, you don't have to use your fingers. I would recommend getting a little spoon or a palette knife or something like that to move these. But after a few minutes, what you'll see is you turn them over. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. We have a perfect little crust building on the outside of the meatballs. Crispy on the outside, beautiful in the middle. So you want to just keep them turning. That one was a bit hot. Doesn't matter if they break up again, because once again, like I said, you're going to be making sure that the pan is your base of your sauce, so it's all just flavour. So you just want to keep turning these, and you want to make sure that you have browned all sides. So you can see here, I learned from my mistakes. I brought a spoon with me just to keep the edges from sort of sticking, but we just keep turning them until you get them nice and brown on all sides. Whilst they're browning on all sides, get yourself, put the oven on at about 150 Celsius, so it's a low heat, and what we're going to do is transfer them into an oven-proof dish, because once they've been browned, we're just going to finish them off in the oven. Now, at 150, this size, they only took another 15 minutes in the oven. But there you see them. They're all nice and golden brown. Pop them in the oven to finish cooking through, and then we move on to the sauce. So the sauce is a really simple tomato sauce. You see there, I've got a pepper, I've got some garlic, I've got the mixed herbs that I added into the meatballs, just so you've got the same flavour profile in the sauce as in the meatballs. I've got 1 tin of tomatoes that have already been chopped up, and I've got some dry chili flakes. So first thing I'm doing here is I've just took the pepper, took the flesh off it, I've thinly sliced it, and then I am just going to cube it. Now the reason I've used the red pepper is because it's the same as the tomatoes, and the kids think it's a way of hiding another vegetable in the sauce, so it's good that way. So there you go, chop them up. With the garlic, it's just finely thin slices of garlic, because we're just going to keep them and cook them in the sauce. And at meatball stage, everything's perfect with that. So first thing we're going to do, you see all the gnarly bits on the bottom of the pan, that's all flavour. So we're adding in the tomatoes first. See, they've got a bit of liquid there. That's going to be the base of our sauce. Guys, this is a basic sauce that it is tasty. However, if you want to make a fancier sauce or out a jar, that's up to you. Whatever is easiest for you. You might have a sauce that your family really likes, so use that. There is no right or wrong way when you're feeding your family. So see there, as soon as you start putting that in and mixing it, all that goodness has come off the bottom of that pan. It's why it's good to use a non-stick pan here. So give that a good stir. Now we're going to add in the mixed herbs. You do want to taste it as well. You might need to add a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, completely down to your taste. So trying to cut out any elements, but it's up to you. So a pinch of chili in there. Now at this stage, again, I've used dry chili flakes. Most people have that in their cupboard. If you've got fresh chili, use fresh chili. It's completely down to you. But most of us have got those dry chili flakes in there. So you can see the sauce is coming in nice colour there. I'm having this with spaghetti, so you can see there I've got a new pan. I've listened to the comments on previous videos, so I've splashed out on a new pan. Now, as you can see, the sauce has turned a different colour and it's darkened. So what we're going to do, it's time to add back in the meatballs. This is just to finish them off in there. You can see how beautifully cooked they are. Now, you just want to be gentle with them, get them coated in the sauce and let them simmer away for a few minutes just to gather that sauce and let some of the juices from the meatballs into that sauce. So give it a bit of a shake. Pop it back on there, give it a mix, and let that cook through. Now you want to cook that, keep them in the sauce for maybe a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops there, and you see that it's starting to bubble through. You can see the meatballs have now taken on the sauce. We just keep turning them occasionally in that. And there you go, guys, that's the finished article. I've made it with some spaghetti, like I said. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are staying safe. From my family to yours, Single Dad Cookbook, signing off.